What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan 2000 here with yet another episode of JamiroFan Talks About. For the initiated of the series of nearly 9 years here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, this has been my periodic discussion series looking at the past, present, and future of the over 30 years of Jamiroquai. And this one is going to be yet another update on Jamiroquai Album 9, its first single release, and the upcoming, which is sure to be a strenuous rehearsals for the upcoming Heels of Steel tour for Jamiroquai, the first tour salvo for the ninth Jamiroquai album era. That will, of course, be transpiring around select locations around the UK and Europe between the months of November to December of 2025. I did issue a bit of an update. I did get some answers from my contacts at Jamiroquai HQ, and I thought I'd share them here in an episode of JamiroFan Talks About. Of course, I did put a press release out about this to everybody on all the social media, of course, on the double subreddits of the online Jamily as well. But I thought I'd cover here in a new episode of JamiroFan Talks About. Now, updates over the last few months, I want to say between August to now, have been kind of tepidly quiet, okay? Now, in addition to the band being very, very active on social media, at least for the months of August and September, putting out a lot of hints, a lot of viral videos, in the case of JK, hinting a lot of aspects of Jamiroquai's upcoming ninth album era, which is highly sought after, and the album finally being confirmed by JK himself, having been recently confirmed by Matt Johnson in a Q&A on YouTube to be coming out sometime in 2026, hopefully the first or second quarter. These, like I said, these updates, at least on my part, on my end, have been kind of taking weeks to get sent to me and for me to ascertain what I can and cannot talk about. But here is this quick, this is going to be a September 28th update on the three main aspects of Jamiroquai Album 9 and the upcoming tour. Now, the string sections recording sessions from the Air Studios London, which many members of the Jamily who watch my Jamiroquai Minute content might remember I mentioned a new picture that was put up by Matt Johnson in the recording studio at Air Studios in London. Of course, those string sessions were in regards to Jamiroquai Album 9, so let's just get that out of the way. Well, those recording sessions, which started about 2 weeks into September 2025, have finished up, and now the ninth album's cumulative album sessions are being, quote, tidied up right now for the final album mixing. The final album mixing process, according to my source, for the ninth Jamiroquai album should be encompassing the final months of 2025. So all the major recording, all the stuff we've been waiting for, all the vocals, all the teases, looks like the album is finally hitting the amazing word finality here. So the album's going to be going into final mixing from between September to probably the end of the year, into the holiday season. So I wish the best to the band of getting this album mixed up. So let's move on to the next major discussion topic of this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. Jamiroquai's Heels of Steel tour rehearsals start next week. Yes, that is going to be the week of September 29th of 2025 at various studio environments to take up most of October of 2025. Now, the band do plan, and this could be individually or this could be Jamiroquai HQ. I didn't get a confirmation on who's going to be putting up what. They're probably going to just go with whenever they got time to put up content, but some of the social media footage from these activities of these rehearsals will be shared on social media. And I've also got an assurance that I will be getting some media from the band directly to me to put out in the estuaries of my YouTube content, so there could be stuff coming from me, Jamiroquai HQ, and the band members respectively on their social media. So starting next week, I'm sure over the next few weeks of October 2025, we're going to be getting a lot of content from the band as they rehearse really hard in the studio. Could be at Shillington, could be at Air Studios, it could be in various studio. It could be at probably at JK's recording studio that he built about 2 or 3 years ago down in Mallorca, Spain. So the band could be going jet set between different locations to rehearse for this upcoming 15 tour date tour of the UK and Europe between November to December of 2025. And now I move on to the third and final part of this update of September 28th for Jamiroquai Album 9. Finally, as for the first single release from Jamiroquai Album 9, they have been pretty tight-lipped on it, but they did comment, quote, "It's coming closer to release soon." But, that could mean a number of things. Now, let's remember everything when it comes to production of albums and singles, everything is a TBA, an automatic to be announced or to be confirmed. So like I said, these are just simply updates that I've had passed on to me that I thought I'd pass on to you on the online family. And you take it with a grain of salt or you take it as the gospel. It's up to your interpretation or eye of the beholderness. But, I'm sure October, like I said in several videos here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel, this period, October and on, is going to be a lot of news and a lot of stuff being done. So I can understand why the band and everybody might take their time in putting out a lot of information, but I do think there's going to be a big torrent of information and updates concerning the first single release, the 9th Jamiroquai album, and of course this upcoming impending tour, or at least first tour salvo of the 9th Jamiroquai album era. And we know that the second one was recently announced for 5 tour dates in Summer Festival, summer of 2026, in various locations around Europe. Now, like I speculated in a recent episode of JamiroFan Talks About, as for the Americas tour leg, I'm hoping for that to be sometime in the middle of spring, somewhere between March to, I'm going to say, June of 2026. So any more information concerning Jamiroquai Album 9, the first single, the impending tour, and then the next tour, I'll be certainly be giving you updates when I get them and when they become available to me on future videos here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. Thank you again for watching this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. If you like what you see, be sure to like it, subscribe, and ding the bell on your YouTube to stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Like I said, I've been waiting nearly weeks for answers on several of my queries about everything that's happening with Jamiroquai. So thank you all for your patience in everything. The band really does appreciate the Jamly being very, very patient on social media, because we realize social media can be a little bit of a dog on the shoulder. We can be a little bit insistent. We can be a little bit impatient, but the band appreciates all of everybody's patience while they work on this album, and I'm sure that the upcoming tour is going to be worth the wait. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000, and I'll see you again really soon with more Jamiroquai related content here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Thank you again for all the support, and I'll see you around.